Hello and welcome to the Allplane podcast. Here talking with the people that are redefining the future of commercial aviation. And as usual, before I introduce today's guest, the usual reminder that you can find all the previous episodes of this podcast, as well as many other aviation stories on the Allplane website. That's Allplane.tv. Allplane.tv. Our guest today, Facundo Diaz, is active in an area that has been making headlines lately. Facundo is one of the founders of TravelX, a blockchain technology company that recently issued for the Spanish airline Air Europa the first airline ticket ever based on blockchain technology. You would be surprised to learn that this very first NFTicket, as they call it, fetched over $1 million at an auction. In addition to giving you the right to travel business class between Madrid and Miami on Air Europa, this NFTicket came with a digital work of art that had been commissioned specifically for this occasion. And it gives you access as well to a number of other experiences during the Miami Air Show in November. Another 9 NFTickets will be auctioned soon, by the way. But whether you buy or not into this hype about NFTs, what I think is interesting and relevant here is that blockchain technology may open up new avenues for airline ticket distribution. By making these tickets smarter, you might be able to do many more things with them. For example, make them transferable or add new attributes to the tickets that give access to additional services. In any case, this is quite a complex topic, so I think it's best if we listen about all of this directly from Facundo. Hello, Facundo. How are you?
Hello. Nice to be here.
Welcome to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about technology that is basically making headlines all over the place lately, and that's blockchain and NFTs. I don't know if that's technically correct to call NFT what you're doing, but that's part of what you do, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, blockchain is the technology. NFT is a kind of a smart contract that we are also using for our project and company.
Mm-hmm. Because you are one of the founders of TravelX. So it's a company that is applying blockchain technology to the airline industry. And you've got quite a few interesting projects recently. You were instrumental to basically the creation of the first NFT ticket. That's how you call it, with Air Europa, right?
That's right.
Based on blockchain technology. And you have agreements with a number of PSS providers to basically continue developing this blockchain technology in the context of airline ticketing, which is one of the potentially most interesting applications of blockchain in this travel and airline sector. But first of all, before we move into the conversation, I'm going to ask you, like all guests, to introduce yourself. Give us a little bit of your professional background, and then, we can talk about TravelX and what you guys are doing, what this company is about, and all these very interesting projects that you've been releasing lately.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Facundo Diaz, originally from Argentina, right now moving a lot for this project and for my previous projects. I developed my career in a very traditional way in a consulting firm in Accenture. But many years ago, I decided to start my own projects. I love tech. I'm a tech guy. So I started to develop different projects. I started in gaming. One of my gaming projects brought me to the virtual reality world. I founded a music distribution platform in VR right before the hype of the VR.
Wow.
So yeah, I raised money, and in Silicon Valley, I moved to Palo Alto, then to LA. I was running my company there. Unfortunately, virtual reality, at least for my company, didn't take off. So I at that time, I ended up with a lot of content that we produced it with many artists and the world's biggest record labels. And I said, man, the company users didn't show up. We had a lot of great content that we paid for at that time with the funds we got from investors. And I said, what we can do with this? I mean, the company didn't work, the business model is not working. So I started to connect with people. I was living in LA at that time, and I started to connect with people really involved in blockchain, not only on the crypto space, but on the tech space. They were exploring how to take advantage of blockchain as a technology. At that time, the concept of NFT was just starting. So I saw a great potential on the NFT concept, which is basically a way to manage and register a digital asset on a blockchain independently of the companies or the people that created those digital assets. So I got into blockchain because of that. I've been working in different blockchain projects, especially projects related with NFTs. And as you probably know, in the last, year and a half, NFTs became like the most popular thing in blockchain. Related with, of course, right now we are seeing NFTs in relation with art or collectibles.
Yeah.
But I really believe, and that's what we're doing in TravelX, the potential is beyond art and collectibles. It's an amazing way to decentralize and manage digital assets, and that is how we are trying to use blockchain and NFTs for the travel industry. And we are trying to create a new way for airlines and travel suppliers to manage and distribute inventory without frictions and better use cases. So
yeah, actually, that's a very interesting topic. I had the chance to research it a little bit for a recent article I wrote for The Points Guy, where I cover all different initiatives that are in this space. Like some airlines, for example, have gone more like the art collectible way. Like Air Baltic, for example, they've been promoting a collection of images they release as NFTs, but what caught my attention, and I mentioned it in the article, is that you recently applied this technology to tickets, to airline tickets, which makes sense because in a way, I mean, you have like a digital asset that needs to be linked to a particular identity of a person, because you need to have all the details of the person in question, and that's also something that could be transferable in theory. But before we go into the details of this technology, tell us a bit more about TravelX. Tell me a bit more about the company. Who are the founders, besides you, of course? Who are your investors, and where are you active? Because I think you signed recently a number of agreements with different players in the airline industry as well, in the airline technology industry, to be more exact.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm the tech founder. My background is in blockchain. My co-founder is Juan Pablo Lafos. He founded several travel companies, tech travel companies. He founded Asatech and Almundo, which is and sold that company a few years ago, which is probably one of the biggest online travel agencies in Latin America, and he has an amazing background and network in travel. When I was living in LA and when I returned to Buenos Aires during the pandemic, we started to exchange ideas with Juan Pablo about blockchain and the challenges the travel industry is facing. So he saw the opportunity to take advantage of blockchain to improve many challenges or limitations that the travel industry is facing. And we understood that blockchain could be an enabler for the travel industry to really improve its distribution model. We in TravelX, we are not trying to change, disrupt, or kill actual players, but creating a layer, a solution, an infrastructure that could let the travel industry and travel suppliers manage their inventory and distribute their inventory in a more efficient way, allowing also to better use cases for the travelers. As you said, an air ticket is an asset, but with the actual legacy system the industry is using, couldn't work as an asset. bringing
Why?
blockchain.
If I may interrupt you here 1 second, why? In what way does blockchain technology improve what we have now? What are the issues now with the current way? Because right now, a ticket, for example, there's lots of information there about the person that is holding that ticket. So you have the PNR, the number, that code that people get. You have there the name, the surnames. You can have the ticket number. You have you need to file lots of information, personal information when booking a ticket. What is new with blockchain technology? What possibilities it opens up that are not possible with the current technology?
Yeah, basically the most important thing is that tokenizing an e-ticket gives the ticket the possibility to be managed in a more efficient way. First of all, travelers will be able to resell or auction those tickets independently of the systems or the providers or the sellers or the intermediaries that be part of the selling process of that ticket. So in this way, travelers will be able to freely dispose of their assets and manage their assets, as I said, resell, trade, auctioning, or manage those tickets independently that the system or the seller of the ticket.
But even if that's possible technically, would airlines allow this to happen? I mean, is it something that would require some update on the, let's say, the legal terms and conditions, the conditions of sale of the tickets to be available? And how much of a buy-in you need from the airlines to be on board with this, to be able to create this secondary market for tickets, for example?
Yeah, for the airlines, it's very simple. As I said, we are not changing the actual rules. We are just allowing to the airlines to connect inventory and distribute their actual inventory through NFTickets and through a blockchain infrastructure. When I'm talking about blockchain infrastructure, I'm talking about new concepts or blockchain-related concepts like wallet-to-wallet. Airlines will have wallets. They will distribute inventory through that wallet. As a buyer or traveler, I will use my wallet to buy that ticket. I will get that ticket, NFTicket, in my wallet, and through the blockchain in a completely decentralized way, I will be able to, as I said, resell, trade, transact, or manage that NFTicket. And what we are trying to do is we are creating a marketplace as a first step or as a proof of concept. But we don't want to be the marketplace. Our end goal is to create this infrastructure and let any kind of player, actual players or new players, connect with that distribution blockchain-based model and allow this operation to happen in their actual marketplaces or new ones. An online travel agency will be able to connect and use our protocol to create the white label marketplace for airline ticket distribution using NFTickets, for example. And the most interesting thing is that also actual crypto or blockchain players like exchanges or NFT marketplaces will be able to become or allow to the users to buy tickets through their platforms, just connecting or using our protocol for the NFTickets distribution.
Mm-hmm. Having reached this point, I just would like to get one step back, because I guess many people that are listening to this are just like me. They heard about the blockchain technology, have a vague idea, but without getting too technical, I would like to get a little bit on the, let's say, the backstage of how this happens. Because right now, basically, the airline has a system which is called a PSS, which is basically, it's like the brain that processes all these bookings. So when you go to an airline website, you can check what are the prices and the availability for a certain flight. Then you can book, you enter your details, and that gets registered on this system, on this PSS, and then you get all this confirmation email, PNR, the passenger reference number. And yeah, that's basically it. Then you go to the airport, you have this number, everything is in the system, you check in, and so on. So at the technical level, what happens here? Let's go even more at the more basic level. Blockchain. We all heard about all these ledgers, all of that, everything gets registered. But can you tell us a bit more about the nuts and bolts of how this works? I mean, what's technically happening here? And also from the point of view of the air traveler, what sort of steps do I need to follow if I want to buy a ticket that it's using this technology?
Yeah, for sure. Starting from the blockchain concept. It is a simple concept in some way. Blockchain is a ledger, and a distributed ledger. I mean, all the information is not centralized in one server, but distributed in the users and nodes that support that ledger.
So, sorry, one second interruption here. So, for example, a PSS would be an example of a centralized service, I guess, because it's a software that it's basically used by a specific entity and provided by a specific company, and that airline is the one that is storing the information of your ticket, your bookings, all of that. So that would be centralized. If you use blockchain, that information would be decentralized. So there would be more people having access to that information. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, the information in the ledger is mapped, and it is a smart ledger. It's a distributed ledger technology. It's a technology that's allowed things to happen based on business rules. It's not only the registration, but what happened based on the rules that were defined in that ledger. So that's why we're talking about a smart contract. We define rules. We define on top of that ledger what could be happening without intermediaries. So coming back to the concept of the PCS, airlines are managing inventory and the passenger through the PCSs. With the infrastructure we are creating, we basically let those PCSs to connect to that blockchain ledger. And as soon as a passenger acquire a ticket and that ticket becomes an NFTickets, the business rules or the smart contracts defined on that blockchain infrastructure will rule what will be happening with that NFTicket and the owners of that NFTicket. And we are creating and trying to standardize rules for those NFTickets that make sense for the travel industry. So we've been working on different projects with companies like McKinsey to understand what are the rules or what should be happening that it makes sense and bring value for the travel suppliers and also for the travelers and the ticket buyers with those NFTickets. So in that way, as soon as a user acquire an NFTicket in their wallet, as we said, they will be able to, we are eliminating a lot of frictions and they will be able to resell, trade without using or the needs to connect with all the systems or airline systems or the intermediary systems. And 72 hours before the flight, the name and the passenger defined in that NFTicket will be able to follow the traditional boarding process, and the PCSs will be actualized with that information that is managed in the blockchain infrastructure.
So basically, your technology would still use the, let's say, the traditional, the digital portals, the user interfaces that we are used to right now. When we buy tickets, for example, we go to an airline website and make a booking. That would still hold. It's just that behind the scenes, you're going to be adding some attributes to those tickets so that you can do more stuff with them. Am I right to put it this way?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you would still, as a user, you would still be interacting with your airline or with your online travel agent just as normal as you are used to at the moment. But you are, let's say, put it quote unquote, enriching that ticket with some attributes that would make it kind of smarter and would allow you to basically use it in novel ways.
You're explaining it perfectly.
Okay.
That's the idea. We are enriching the travel ticket, and we are taking out friction in the process of managing that NF ticket for the airlines, for the travel suppliers, because all the information on what is happening is registered in that blockchain. And as you said, we are enriching an asset product like an air ticket, allowing for that ticket to be managed in a more efficient and decentralized way through the blockchain. But traditional booking, airline, and boarding process still keeps working in the same way.
So then if I buy one of those tickets that you have kind of made more, more powerful, more capable of having more properties, how would it work then? I would go to the airport, and then it would be, as you said, it's going to be just like a normal ticket. It's going to have a PNR, and I would just do the normal check-in, everything.
Yeah.
So how did it work with this? You recently had these first issuance. Am I right to say that this is the first blockchain-based ticket that has been issued in the world in history? With Air Europa, Spanish airline Air Europa. That was a flight to Miami, I think, from Madrid to Miami. And there were a number of tickets that were issued as NFTs. How did it go? I mean, what was the process like, and what did people do with those tickets?
Yeah, as you said at the beginning, we've been working with many airlines and airline players like PCS companies or companies that manage PCSs, like you, for example, in different partnerships. We been working with Air Europa, that it is adopting this distribution model through blockchain, and we noticed that we were being minting, and that's the technical word for this, the world's first ever NF ticket. And we said, man, this will be like something, because the interesting thing about NF ticket is that they will be eternal. As soon as they are minted and they are in the blockchain, they will last forever. So
sorry, what do you mean that they will last forever? Because obviously the ticket has a utility that expires with the actual flight, right? I mean, the flight is gone. You cannot use that ticket anymore.
No, absolutely. But the thing is that it is registered in a ledger that is immutable, and at least the information will remain there forever. So understanding that we are minting the first ever NF ticket, we decided for that opportunity, or being the first NF ticket ever, to add art to those NFTs. So the buyers will be able to use that NF ticket to get the flight. But after the flight, they will be having that NF ticket. They will have that NF ticket as a collectible, as a piece of history in their wallet. And eventually, those NF tickets, because they are the first ones, and they also have an art piece in that NF ticket, could have value besides the travel or the flight. So we decided to auction the first 10 NF tickets in history. So we just auctioned the first one. And it was great. It was a surprise for us, because we didn't expect to sell that ticket in the amount that it was sold. But
how much?
But yeah, more than $1 million, $1,002,000.
$1 million.
Yeah.
So there's someone that paid $1 million for the ticket plus a piece of art. And
a piece of art.
And how this art, what's the manifestation of this art? I mean, in what form do people get this art?
We invited, considering that the first flight and the first NF ticket was a ticket that goes from Madrid to Miami, we invited a well-known Miami artist, Carlos Betancourt. We invited him and told him, hey, you know how NFTs are working in the art and collectible world, we are creating and we will be minting the first NFT ticket ever. It will be a ticket because that's the purpose of our company, but they will be also a collectible, and we can make this first NFT ticket a collectible too. Would you like to join us and create some art that could be added to that NFT ticket? He loved the idea and he created like a piece of art. You can check it.
But is it digital art, or is it, what's the actual form that takes this piece of art? Is it something you can have at home, or is it something that, how do people get it?
It is a digital art, and it works in the same way that NFTs, traditional NFTs, are working. The only thing is that it is on an NFT ticket. So these NFT tickets has the art and has the attributes that allows the user to travel and board in that flight to Madrid to Miami.
So to recap, there were 10 tickets, right, on that flight, 10 tickets that had the NFT format. There were 10 business class tickets, right?
Exactly.
That were auctioned. Each of them had a piece of art, or only one of them?
All of them will have, we only auction one of them, the first one. We will be auctioning the rest in August.
Sorry, because the flight hasn't happened yet. The flight is in October or November, right? November, yeah.
Miami Air Week. And we are planning that those NFT tickets will also unlock and will let the NFT holders to unlock experiences in Miami during the Miami Air Week. So
it's going to be like a sort of, maybe it's not the right word, but like a voucher to get access to certain activities, or what type of thing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, having that NFT ticket in your wallet, that NFT ticket has hash that, and you can, in blockchain, you can easily prove that you are the owner. Having your wallet, you can easily prove and use your NFT ticket, so that the NFT ticket will unlock like VIP accesses to experiences in Miami and things that will be happening in Miami. I cannot mention yet them.
Okay. But... And how did people learn about it? Did you promote it through specific NFT/art channels? And where did people submit their bids to get this? Because $1 million, that's, I mean, that means that there were quite some serious bidding there, right?
Yeah, and it was super interesting because the price goes up closely to the end of the auction, so it was crazy. But yeah, we promoted in Air Europa, TravelX social networks. The interesting thing is that we are also using a blockchain chain that is Algorand. Algorand is one of the biggest blockchains, and we are using that blockchain to build this infrastructure for the travel industry. So they've been promoting also the auction. In many media publications. So yeah, it got a lot of attention, and hopefully the crypto community and the bidders understood the value of this. For us, is what not only a selling or action, but the most important thing was a validation about what the industry understand or understood. It could be the new standard for the travel industry and for the airline ticket distribution. So it was super exciting.
Back to the auction thing, the remaining 9 tickets, what happens with them? Is there going to be an auction? Are they going to be auctioned one by one, or is it going to be a general auction for all of them?
We will be auctioning them one by one, close to the flight. We are creating that expectation. It was a surprise an amazing thing for us to be able to get that attention and traction for the first one. So yeah, we will be auctioning them probably in August, September, before the flight.
Mm-hmm. You also have a partnership or an agreement, I don't know what's the right word, with Q. You mentioned Q is a software company providing software for the airline industry. It's got its own PSS system. I think Q works with 70 plus airlines, I think, around the world at the moment. What sort of work you do with them? I mean, are all airlines that work with the Q PSS going to be able to issue these NFTs? What are your future plans in that space? And when do you expect this blockchain technology, this NFTization of the airline ticket to happen?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, we are working, as I said, we are not replacing or trying to kill actual players in the travel industry, but we are allowing them. We want to bring the travel industry to the Web3 and creating this infrastructure and standardizations of travel industry rules on top of the blockchain infrastructure we are creating. And part of that is to develop this kind of strategic alliances and partnership with actual players. Q is one of them. Airlines that are using Q for their PCS and for their inventory and passenger system management will be able to connect through Q their inventory to the TravelX protocol we are creating, and using that they will be able to distribute their actual inventory through NFTickets. That's the purpose of the alliance. So yeah, as you said, the 73 airlines that are working with Q will be able to easily connect and start distributing their inventory through the blockchain. And we are creating like a new distribution channels for them. They will be also, it's not that they should be distributing their inventory in that way, on the traditional way. They just be connecting their inventory, and those tickets will be able to be acquired in the traditional way or through NFTickets through our infrastructure.
Okay, understood. So you're creating like the infrastructure, the base technology for people to do these things. I guess ultimately this opens up the possibility for other entrepreneurs, for other companies to develop an ecosystem here of people creating new stuff for those tickets based on your technology. Once you have that, you can add experiences, maybe you can add art, maybe you can do other stuff with those tickets.
Absolutely, and that's the idea. As I said, we are creating this infrastructure. We are standardizing on top of blockchain the travel industry rules, and we are allowing every actual actors to create solutions on top of that, and hopefully new actors and creating new use cases, and especially distribution channels for the suppliers. That's the idea or our vision.
Mm-hmm. Very well. So we're going to start wrapping it up because I think you have another call coming up soon. But before we go, I just wanted to ask you, where can people find out more about this initiative, about what you are doing, about TravelX?
Yeah, for sure. TravelX.io is our website. In travelexchange.com, you can access and check out what happened with the auction of the first NFTicket and what will be happening with the other 9 that will be auctioning in August. But hopefully soon you will be able to see TravelX infrastructure or distributed base protocol in many places, because airlines will be able to use that infrastructure as a white label in their own marketplaces. Actual online travel agencies will be able to use our APIs and protocol to start distributing or creating a marketplace of NFTicket in their own website and marketplaces. So yeah, those are right now the key places people can access to our technology.
Very good. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on and see how it evolves. Well, thank you very much, Facundo. We are definitely going to check that out and see what sort of figures this new auction brings up.
Absolutely. Very exciting. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you to you. Bye. Before you go, and if you like this podcast, a quick reminder that it would be absolutely great if you could please give it a rating on Apple, Spotify, or whichever platform you're using, or recommend it to a friend or whomever might be interested. Thank you very much and see you soon.